What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon, and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we're talking about The Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey. So if you watched my Fifth Wave video, you'll know that I was not that into Fifth Wave. I was very conflicted. I didn't know how I was going to feel about it, but overall, I think I liked it. I decided to start The Infinite Sea, and I gotta tell you, right off the bat, The Infinite Sea is a lot better, and I honestly think that has everything to do with the fact that it's told from Ringer's perspective for the first third of it. Like, this book is kind of structured weirdly. Like, the beginning of it is told from Ringer, then we go back to our squad, and then we go back to Ringer. And I honestly will say that if we did not return back to Ringer, if we had just stayed with our squad for the rest of the book, I would not have finished this book, because I was very, very close to just like rage quitting it. I couldn't stand it. I was so done with it because I just don't like the squad storyline. I don't care about Cassie at all. I don't care about Evan at all, but Ringer was super cool because Ringer was asking the right questions. She was asking the questions like, nothing makes sense. Why would they send sleeper agents down to Earth? Why don't they just kill us all anyway? Like, why would you try to poison the rats when you could just throw a big rock at it? Like, that's the real question. And she was constantly wondering this. This was constantly nagging at her. And I really liked following that story because I feel like we got a lot more answers, and I feel like I have a greater understanding of what's actually going on here. And that is really, really cool. And that is what I am totally here for. But what I am not totally here for is the fact that Rick Yancey does not need to be writing YA books. That's honestly what I feel like right now, because the story is really great, and I feel like his books are very well written and they're very poetic, and I really feel like you can feel the weight of it all, because these others don't want to just like kill all the humans. They want to eradicate humanity itself. They want history to come to a standstill. Like, this is basically an experiment. It's really, really cool. It's very, very terrifying. But the characters themselves are just not done very well at all, and all of the elements of this book that are YA are where it really falls flat. Like, the romance dynamics, the way that the female characters interact with each other is just so frustrating. That's why the sections with all of our squad together, the ones told from Cassie's perspective, the ones told from Evan's perspective, just really gets to me. And again, Cassie's character is still not being treated the way she should be, because I really do feel like she's supposed to be the main character of the story, and she's just, the way she's being handled is so very frustrating, and it just like, it really, really gets to me. But going back to the story, not a lot happens in this book. It's definitely more of an installment than a sequel, which I personally like. But aside from like learning a lot of stuff with Ringer's character, whenever we go back to our squad, not much is happening. This book picks up pretty much right where Fifth Wave left off, and they're trying to like, they're holed up in this hotel right now. They're trying to find like another place to go. They're trying to figure out like where to weather out the storm and like how to, you know, just keep surviving. And that's really all that it is. And like, Evan eventually like meets back up with them because surprise, surprise, of course he's not dead. And it's just very weird because I feel like not a lot gets done in that section, and I also feel like we don't learn a lot in that section, because here's where the problem with Ringer's story comes in. To me, hers is so compelling, and we're learning so much about the plot with her that when we do the juxtaposition thing that we had in the Fifth Wave, it doesn't work as well, because to me, it just makes it all like conflicting. It's just all like counteracting each other, and it just isn't meshing. And it's like, okay, I understand that we're supposed to be seeing like, oh, Ringer's perspective, and then like, oh, Squad's perspective, which one's correct? Except Ringer's is done so much better that like I am firmly on the side of like everything we learned with her. I'm like, okay, well, obviously that's what's going on. So whenever we switch to the squad, I'm like, I'm not invested in this at all. I'm completely taken out of the story. And like I said, I would have probably not finished this book if we hadn't have turned it back over to Ringer's character, because to me, that's where everything really shined. Obviously, her sections do still have problems because apparently female characters aren't allowed to be friends with each other, and also they have to have some sort of romance. I also feel like the plot itself is way too complicated. There's so much going on. But upon finishing this book, I still really wanted to know what happens next. So I have already started the last book in the trilogy, which is The Last Star. I have heard that The Last Star is the worst one of the bunch, so trying to keep the expectations, you know, normal. I'm really not expecting this book to blow me away or anything. But I'm actually going to give this book a C+, which is kind of weird. I was gonna give it another C again, but I feel like the Ringer stuff is so strong, and I feel like the story is really getting there that I have hope for it, so I am giving this book a C+. Would I recommend this series? I honestly have absolutely no idea, because I feel like Rick Yancey, this needed to be an adult fantasy book. This did not need to be a YA book. It just doesn't work that way, but it is super interesting. I am still interested to see where it's gonna go, so I guess we're gonna see what happens. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can talk books with me every week. That is everything got for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!